In this video we're going to learn some basics about using variables to work and store with numbers. Now remember, a variable is basically just a little section of memory that you've given a label to store some data as the program runs. In this case we're going to store some numbers. So I've got my new project here, and the first thing I'm going to do underneath sub main is I'm going to create my variable. Now I'm going to use a variable called, let's say, score, for example, and before I can use that variable I need to actually make it. So to do that we create our variable just underneath sub, and we type the word dim, which creates a variable. We then type the name of the variable, remember I've called mine score, and then we say as, and then we tell the computer what data is going to go into that variable. In this case it's going to be integers, which means whole numbers. Now you'll see that score goes green and underlined. That's because Visual Studio, my IDE, is telling me you've created this variable but you've not used it yet. Now, whenever you are working with variables, always create them, or declare them as we call it, at the top of your program. Doesn't matter if you're not going to use the variable until line 256. Declare them all at the top, that way they're all organised and they're all grouped together. So, what we're going to do is go through a few different tricks that we can use with variables, a few different techniques. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to set score to be 0. So, sometimes this is called initializing. We're giving our variable the value that we want it to have at the start of the program. So all I have to do for that is use score equals 0. Now you might see an equals used in maths for comparing two different numbers or a piece of algebra or what have you. So this isn't a comparison, this is saving the number 0 into the variable score. So what we're going to use instead, I'm going to try and keep using this vocabulary instead. I'm going to say that, where we use a single equals means score, gets the value of 0. So that puts the number 0 into score. What I'm going to do next, just so I can see how the program is running, is I'm going to put console.writeLine in, and I'm going to put the message in, the score is, and I'm going to join that using the AND, just like I did with the string variables in the last video. So that will print out the phrase, the score is score. I'm then going to put a console read line in, like that, so that I have to press enter to move the program in. And while I'm here, I'm going to put console read line just before I end sub so that my program doesn't auto shut. So that will create a variable called score, give it the value 0, and then it will print it out as part of the sentence. The next step is to start changing score. So let's imagine I collected a coin in my game. I want to change score and give it a different value. So what I could do is say a coin is worth 10 points. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take all that code, and I'm going to copy it, I'm going to paste it down here. So here, if I want to give score a new value, I can change that. Score equals 10. Like so. So, in fact, just before that, I'll put a little message in that says, let's just say you found a coin. Okay, so you found a coin, change score to 10, and then print it out. So if we run that program, you'll start to see what happens. I should have 3 lines of text written to my console. Don't need console.readline twice, I've just realised I've got it twice there. So I'll have to press enter twice to end the program. The score is 0, press enter, you found a coin, the score is 10. Press enter and enter again until we've got console readline in twice again. So, have a go at creating a variable, an integer variable, and giving it different values, changing the number that's stored in there, and then printing it out. Once you've done that, move on to the next video.